Hello, and welcome back to Fuck the Rules of Love. I really just kind of want to riff on this episode. I don't have a real plan. I just kind of want to allow whatever wants to come out of my mouth hole to come out of my mouth hole. I'm feeling a little bit kind of playful, so I'm excited to see where this episode takes us. I like to share a lot more, I suppose, vulnerably, or just sharing more of my own personal relationship or life or whatever it is with you guys in these impromptu episodes, because I think it's important for you to see that even those of us that know better don't always do better, or we have our own blind spots and we aren't perfect, which my own perfectionist absolutely despises. I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist, but if I'm honest, sometimes it catches me off guard and I'm like, oh, there she is again, setting impossibly high and unkind standards for ourselves, setting ourselves up for failure yet again. But at least I now have the self-awareness and I know what to look for when I'm slipping into that so that I can catch myself, notice it, and then choose something different. And it's really interesting because once I lower those standards, I'm actually like, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing really well. How good is that? And it can be as simple as just a shift in your mindset. Your brain is incredibly powerful. The words you think and speak have an insane amount of power on your mental well-being, your emotional well-being. If you think about if your partner, when he says something to you, maybe it's even just in his tone, not even in how he said it, but you're probably instantly like, whoa, what do you mean by that? Even though maybe he didn't actually even mean it, but mean it in any particular way, but you notice, and you will notice all of the quote unquote negative things that people might have said to you in the past. And our brain is very quick to notice all the negatives over the positives as a way to protect ourselves. You can have 1,000 people commenting on a post of yours that is empowering and positive and full of compliments or whatever, and it can take one person to completely destabilize you, throw you off track, make you feel all wonky and insecure. That's all it takes. And so when you think about that, have you ever thought to ask why? Why does that happen? Why is it that one negative comment can suddenly completely eradicate the 1,000 positives? Just as one example, because our brain is doing whatever it can to protect us from feeling worse than we already are. It likes to feel in control. So we will fixate on it. We will absolutely notice that one crappy comment. But this is why you need to have resilience and self-awareness so that you can catch yourself before you spiral. So you can wake up each morning and choose to be grateful for the air in your lungs instead of going, oh, I'm just so tired and I'm just so over arguing with the kids all the time and going to work and cleaning and I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this, okay? Absolutely, sometimes my little mind can get carried away with really unkind thoughts towards myself or just about life. It's quite negative. That is a safety net for me. It has been going into victimhood and just being really negative about things. Because again, if I'm not feeling up here and something, bad happens, something really unexpected, the drop isn't quite so shocking to my nervous system. So I just kind of keep myself in a okay-ish state, maybe focusing on those negatives, on how life isn't where I want it to be. And it's so fascinating to me because it is my personal belief, and from doing this work and just my personal experiences as well, I am frequently looking for patterns in human behavior. And one of those patterns that I notice a lot is how we think we want to feel really alive and joyful and experience pleasure and excitement and happiness. But when we've got it, we more often than not will sabotage it in some way, shape, or form. And I think a lot of us are actually, we prefer to be on the lower end of the feeling spectrum. And by that, I mean, sitting around fear, sadness, jealousy, because that is expected, it's predictable, it is familiar, because we've all experienced in some way, shape, or form. And few of us have built up the resilience to hold that, to know how to fully process that, to let it go. We don't like being uncomfortable, and those feelings are uncomfortable. But the irony is that being in the higher emotions, the emotions that make you feel lighter, happier, more fulfilled and content in life, they can also feel scary because what if something bad happens? I used to hold this belief. It came from my mum, I think, that bad things come in threes. And you fucking bet bad things came in threes because I was creating that. I was putting that energy out there into the world. And I was looking for the evidence that bad things came in threes too. So I would find it. I don't hold that anymore, thank God. And even then, when quote unquote bad things happen to me, I embrace it as an opportunity to grow because I can't change it. So I may as well make lemonade out of the lemons that God and the universe have thrown at me. Like, you have two choices in life: be disempowered by something you can't control, or be empowered by it. And I do my utmost to be empowered by it, to see the positives in it. I absolutely will give myself space to feel and process whatever it is that circumstance has triggered inside of me. I don't bypass it and pretend I'm not feeling a certain way. I give myself space for it, but I don't build a home there. I used to. Sometimes I might build a fort, a temporary makeshift fort, but it's not a home because my fallback tendency, protective mechanism is victimhood and negativity. Sometimes I might hang around and stay in that protective mechanism for a little while longer than I might ideally like, but I can often then see it for what it is and choose a different choice, different action moving forward. I dismantle the fort and choose to allow the sun to beam down on my skin. But we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop in love, in life, like these beliefs that it can't possibly get any better, or this will be only fleeting, nothing good lasts forever. And whilst there is actually some truth in that last one, okay, because life is meant to be all of it. It is the full spectrum. It is the yin and the yang. There are positive and negatives. You say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. It is up and it's down. We have polarities in life for a reason. There is death and there is life. That is unavoidable. So things will be great and things will be bad. But do you have the tools to support yourself in the bad? Truly, do you have the resilience to hold yourself, to trust and know that no matter what life throws at you, you're going to be okay? Or are you reliant on your partner to fix things? Or are you still waiting for someone to swoop in and rescue you from yourself, from your pain? I did an episode on this and how we are waiting for our partner to just swoop in and rescue us. That was me. Occasionally I catch glimpses of it sneaking in again. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. I don't need him because every time that I'm feeling scared, unwanted, abandoned, unseen. I'm given an opportunity to give it to myself, to love myself, to trust myself. That's not a reason for me to leave, just to affirm my fears. Fears are not facts. And so I choose to say, even though once upon a time I used to want to run, I was the runner in this relationship. I was creating the bad before anyone else could do it to me. So I had that control. So I choose to stay and become the love that's been missing. Give myself the love that was missing from childhood or whatever it is, because I am always worth choosing. And I need to choose myself first. I need to choose hope first, have faith first. I have to give myself reasons to say yes to life instead of focusing on all the ways that life isn't supporting me or isn't working out the way that I want it to. I have to do that. No one's coming to rescue you, to save you from your pain. But if you chose to lean in instead, you would be able to support yourself better, because most people live in this little box of comfort, maybe even numbness predominantly. So they're not feeling too good or too bad. And if they stay in this little box, it's comfortable, it's predictable, it's expected, but they're also robbing themselves of so much goodness. And it is my belief that most people live in this little box for most of their lives. And yeah, life's maybe okay, but my philosophy is fuck okay. Give me fantastic. Give me absolutely awe-inspiring. I am not here for mediocre or good enough. What if so much more was available to you? Because I promise you, it is. My life is pretty freaking epic. And I know it's only going to get better. Even when it's rough and rocky, I know that I can support myself through that and I will benefit from it on the other side of the pain, the hurt, whatever it is. Because I choose to have the perspective of this is for me. Life is happening for me, not to me. I don't stay in the victim of, I don't stay in the mindset of, oh, but my ex cheated on me for 8 years on and off. And so, what if my partner James does it now? I used to. Sometimes I might have a dream where he's cheated on me and I wake up feeling a little insecure, but now I support myself to feel secure again, to know that I am enough, to know that I will always have my own back. I don't need to rely on anyone else to do that for me anymore. And that is so much more empowering. Is why I chase my dreams. How many people are still sitting on their dreams because they're scared? It is my belief that most people are making decisions in their life from a place of fear. They are too scared to not belong, so they do what's expected. They're too afraid of rejection, so they say yes instead of no to prove that they're good enough. They're so afraid of abandonment that they will self-sacrifice and abandon themselves instead. So, where are you getting in the way? Where's your brain getting in the way, trying to quote unquote protect you, but is actually preventing you from living a full, abundant life? And I don't even necessarily mean financially abundant, I mean abundant in love and laughter and joy. Where are you still holding yourself back because of all of those potential what ifs? What if it's bad? But my question to you is that I want to leave you with is, what if it's fucking fantastic? We're so quick to jump straight to, but what if he hurts me? What if I fail? But what if you live the rest of your days together? What if you succeed? I mean, you only fail if you give up indefinitely. What if it gets even better? That is it for today's episode. Please give this podcast some love if that feels true for you, and subscribe so you can receive a notification when each episode drops. Otherwise, I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Tell me what you want.